So we're going to do a bit more washi tapey stuff, and this time we're going to use, so this is what I've been making. This time we're going to use double-sided sticky tape, so a massive roll of it here. And I'll talk about what these are. So this first one is, you know, when last week when I was saying I'd got all of this stuff stuck to the mat and I really liked it. Well, I picked it all up with my double-sided sticky tape, and now I've got this kind of washi tape that's kind of a bit arty, bit looks like it's been painted like that. So I think that looks, you know, really nice. That might go on the edge of a journal or something. So anyway, there's that. We're not going to do that. I was just showing you what happened. So this is what the Bohemian Crafter kind of does. So she, think her name is Ava or Eva as well, and she, I think she's a Czech lady that lives in the UK, and I love her. You know, she makes me laugh. She's got she muddles her words and everything, and it's great. So I'm not laughing at her, I'm laughing with her. So this is what she does. She's using book pages and bits of leftover scrappy things. Okay, so, and I thought, well, I do have book pages that are left over that are kind of scrappy, but the things that I have a lot of scrappy stuff of are things like my napkins. So I have bits of napkin left over, so, you know, not necessarily bits I can use. So this is what inspired me to make this. So this is the same thing. This one was just got a bit more colourful as I went on. So this is one that's just been made out of mainly pastel colours, and these are just bits of napkin. And same with these are just a bit brighter. So I thought we'd make these together. So I've got loads of napkins, and I've got loads of little tiny bits which I don't always keep, but now I've found a reason to keep them. I might have to start keeping them, which is not good, because if you saw my bag of scrap paper, you'd know why it might not be a good idea. So this is one of my bags of scrap paper, and so what am I doing, Dave? No, you're not sticking it down. Don't stick it down, people. Wrong. So this is my double-sided, sorry, this is my non-stick mat, which is a good job really, because otherwise that would have been stuck to it. So yeah, the sticking it down, don't stick it down, because otherwise then you have to peel it off and then you can't roll it back up again. So I leave it stuck on its backing, so this is all on its backing tape. Well, it's all right, it's backing tape that you can't get back off again, but then again, it's typical double-sided sticky tape, isn't it? You can't get it actually off its back. So, and musical interlude while Dave tries to find the end of his tape, the end of his tether. Well, I'm at that, don't worry. What's the gallery music again? There you go. So like it's stuck to the sticky back. So like what I like about it is it's really quite, you know, transparency, sort of like very much washi tape, and it feels like washi tape. It's got that kind of like nice feel to it. Anyway, so this is the tape. So you have to leave it face up. This is why I only do a bit at a time, because then you end up getting a bit sticky otherwise. So you leave it face up, and then you try and get your fingers off it without it sticking to you. Oh, I've done it. Thought I was going to have to deploy some other technique. And then you start, get off. Now I'm back to this, Dave. It's all going a little wrong this morning. Well, this afternoon actually. There you go. So I'm just going to start sticking now. So what I like to do is I don't like the edges if they're too straight. I like the kind of blend, and you'll see what I mean when I start doing it. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this bit to here. Now I'm not going to worry about it hanging over the edge, but I'm going to try and get the majority of it on the tape. Oh, and stuck to my hairs on my arm. And then I get another bit, and you can kind of think, oh, okay, so I might want to have it all kind of orangey, yellowy, and that's fine. So I'll try and do that, but like, so don't worry about this, the fact that it's going to overlap, because there's a way to sort that out. So look, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of that little straight edge and put that on there, and then I'm going to get another bit. Maybe that, or should I go for something else? Maybe some of this. I'm going to deploy some pink into it, to the mix. And I'm going to put this here, and then I'm going to put something else this side. So now when you're sorting through your napkins, don't just put them on your double-sided tape, otherwise you'll be going, oh, what did I do that for? So I'm going to get some of this, tear a bit of this off, and it's great. Like I say, like even these tiny bits, you can just get your tape and dab them up like that, and you can kind of pick up bits. Stick that on there. Don't worry about these edges. We'll talk about those in a minute when we're kind of getting there. So I might have a little bit of green. So we've got like this V shape here. So just gonna make that edge less wonky. Less straight, more wonky. Put that on there. Might put that tiny bit of green just on there. Let's say this is a bit. I'll put this onto here. Hello, come on. Put that on there. And so I'm just going to keep going. So just finding bits and trying to remember to talk to you, but not necessarily being able to. So apologies if I suddenly go quiet. It's when I've deployed the one brain cell into trying to remember what it's talking about. So I did actually put a straight edge on there, and I didn't want a straight edge, but never mind. Because I wasn't concentrating. I was concentrating on talking. How dare I? So I think I might put that there. And if you have got a straight edge and you don't want a straight edge, what I would suggest is get a little bit of glue, and I mean a little bit because it's going to get messy otherwise. It's just glue that little bit and flip it over so it glues on top of there, and then you don't get such a straight edge. So if you've missed a straight edge, you can resolve it like I did, because you know, accidents happen, as we are well aware. Anybody that's ever crafted in their life will know that things don't always go to plan. But you know, many a happy accident in craft. So I've dropped that face down, which I didn't mean to do. So any punchy colours, if you're doing something like this, try to limit so you don't have too many punchy colours. Doesn't like kind of overpower. Come back to that one in a minute. That's all. Maybe a bit of this on it. That was a bit dark. Maybe this, because it's green. So I'll put that. Hopefully that'll hug round there. There we go. Maybe a bit more of this orange now. So it doesn't. I will be honest. It doesn't look much when you're doing it. I'm trying to decide if that's folded over. No, it's part of the pattern, Dave. But when you've done it, it kind of looks quite good. Again, Dave has put another straight edge on there. Never mind. Dave and his straight edges. You know, when I've told you don't do it, well, I didn't tell you don't do it. You can do what you like. It's your do what you like. It's yours. But I just think a straight edge looks less natural. I mean, straight edges do appear in nature, but like, and like nobody ever questions them when they do. But for some reason, they don't look as organic. Stop saying that, Dave. Organic. little bit. So there's a tiny bit tiny bit of edge on there. I'm just going to put something on it just so it sticks it down. You don't have to do this, trust me, you can do what you like. So I'm going to keep all those little bits now. I'm just going to start keeping, which, you know, the joy of craft, keeping lots of tiny bits of paper that you'll go through a phase of making tons of this, and then you won't touch it again, and then you'll find that bag of napkin bits and think, what on earth did I keep that for? So I'm sorry if that's you. Sorry if I've contributed to that. So let's find some other things in here. So I started going for like a bit of a colour theme, and then I've just kind of like wandered off, which, you know, anybody that's ever been for a walk with me or been shopping with me knows that I wander off quite a lot. So, you know, I'm following my own path. That's what I'm doing. So these, I don't use this napkin, although it does look like I have used a lot of it. I've used it as background because it's kind of white and it's very exciting when I stick it onto things. But it's ideal for stuff like this. What's that? It's a bit of orange there. I'll have that. Stick that on there. So this napkin has got a lot of white background, so, you know, it adds to the kind of punctuation of your pattern, doesn't it? This is like herbs in a pot, not herbs, what are they? Lavender in pots. But so what I want to do is, because there is a lot of white on there, and I don't want a lot of white, I'm going to put that on there, and I'm going to do what I did before, is just glue the underside of that. No, I'm not, Dave, because you can't get it up. There we go. Bit of surgery. Stick a bit of that on there, so enough to make it stick. Don't worry if it tears, you know, it's all good. It's all good in the hood. Don't say that, Dave. Don't make yourself look a fool. Well, any more of a fool than you already do. I feel like Elizabeth Taylor. Sorry, that's Will Young's song. I don't feel like Elizabeth Taylor. Don't look like her either, so a bit of this. This has got a bit of orange in it. A bit of that there. Nearly at the end. Maybe something a little bit different colour. Put some of that on. Maybe a little bit of pinky at the end. And we just need another bit there. Oh, let's put some of this on. Let's tear it off there. I think that's a little bit sticky. It is. Find something to stick on there. Okay, so that's that bit done. Right, okay, now what you need to do is you need to get a pair of scissors and you need to flip it over, and you just need to cut off these edges first. Don't have to worry too much about them. Try not to cut into your tape, but you know, if you do, it takes away that straight edge, doesn't it? So it's funny, I'm not worried about the straight edges at the sides, but I don't like the straight edges on the actual piece. And then I just follow the teary bit kind of around, and then cut down the other side. Concentrating, try not to remove fingers. Oh, I've got an itch. Typical, you know, while you're cutting and concentrating and you get an itch. It's just typical. Okay, so there we go. Let's get those. And right, these bits that I've cut off, guess what? Keeping. Okay, so there we go. There'll be little bits that kind of stick out just because it just needs a bit of a trim. And then what you do is put your lid on your glue, Dave, otherwise it's going to go wrong. And then you take an emery board and you don't rub really hard. Okay, and I find that if you rub this way, you'll peel it up at the side. So I don't. So what I do is I hold it, and what you're going to do is get rid of all of these bits where it kind of overlaps, and you're just going to give it a light sand. Now I realise that my hands might be in the way. My less pork chop fingers now. They're less pork choppy. And the other thing that this does is it gives it a really nice finish. So it gives it a very kind of like almost velveteen sort of finish to it. And it just is lovely. And then what also it does is any of these little bits where you might have left a tiny bit without anything stuck to it, all of the rubbings off cover it and they stop it from being sticky. So and then what you do is you get to see the wood for the trees. So don't worry about the edges again. You can kind of come in with a pair of scissors, or you can just file them off. So just go, and I find this very therapeutic. It's a great thing. It's a kind of one of those, not in a horrible way, a bit of a mindless craft. So not like mindless with no purpose. I mean mindless as in you don't really need to pay much attention. You can, you know, do your own thing. You can have a conversation with people. There's not much cutting, so you don't have to have your tongue out all the time, which I do still think that, you know, there's a lot of people that probably don't admit to having their tongue out on the cut, but I know I do. Sorry, there's a little bit there that just wouldn't file off. Okay, so then right to this edge, and I find that the ends are the hardest bit, so I just give them just try and hold them down and give them as much of a file as I can. Okay, so then what you can do is you can file all these edges off. Okay, but you'll find that keep your fingers out of the way, unless you need your nails doing as well. And if any of you are wearing acrylics, maybe keep your fingers out of the way, otherwise you'll damage your acrylics. Obviously I don't wear acrylic. Well, not obviously. I could. But I don't like long fingernails. I don't mind a painted fingernail, you know, or 2 or 10. Just don't know how people get on with acrylics in their life. How on earth, like, do people use anything or attend to any personal needs with acrylics on? Anyway, just catching all of those little edges. Okay, so let's move those. Now, the filings off, I don't keep. I know, you're surprised really, aren't you? The filings off I don't keep, but these bits that I've cut off I do. So this is what we've got. Give it a bit of a rub. So this is what our washi tape looks like. And you know, it didn't take very long. It uses up some scraps. And you know, if you're doing something and you've got your you've got a colourway that you really want, then you can do this with, you know, you might have used certain napkins on it. There's nothing to stop you from just completely doing the whole thing as a napkin. You know, one napkin stuck down. So that's one. We've made that. Moving on. This is quick crafting. So tear this off. Okay, so let's move on to another one. So then, you have to hold it down, Dave, otherwise you won't get stuck to it. Oh, now the tool's stuck to it, which is typical. Okay, there we go, done. The other thing is, do you remember? I don't know whether you remember, but a while ago, a long time ago, in another galaxy, I printed my own napkins. Okay, so that's another thing you could use. So I could, these that I printed that I didn't actually get round to using, I can maybe now use. So I'm just going to roughly tear this out and stick it down. Oh, get off me, we've just established it's sticky. So tearing that off. Okay, again I've got a bit there that is plain and I don't want it to be plain, so I'll get my glue. I'll put the glue on this bit this time. Okay, and I can stick that bit on there. I'm not going to worry about any wrinkles it gets because that all adds to the fun of it. Yeah. Don't have another bit of that, so I'll come back to that in a minute. Let's just cut that bit off. So there you go. So you've made your own washi tape. Oh, sorry, sticking bits to the bin rather than to me. So remember when, I don't know whether you remember when I did this, printing my own napkins. I do it fairly often, to be fair. If there's something I'd really want that doesn't exist, I'll make it myself. So, and if you don't like it being white, then give it a colour. So, you know, colour it with some alcohol markers or whatever you want to do, but or some distress ink, for instance. Let's just get this cut off, and then I'll give that make it now. Remember, it's tissue paper. Okay, so it's napkin tissue. So you just need to be very careful whatever you put on it. So let's get, I don't know, let's just get something that's not nice and close to hand. This is apricot nectar. So we need that one because that's the orange colourway. So I'm just going over it with a bit of distress ink. And just enjoying yourself, really. You know, it's not meant to look like anything. You can just make it look like whatever you like. So, don't get into your own head either. Oh, Worcester's here. I don't want you getting in my head either. You giant. My brain isn't big enough for you. So, good boy. Good boy. Okay, off you go. Off you go. I'll be done soon. We'll come and have fussies. Okay. So there you go. You've made another style of washi tape. I know I've gone washi tape mad. But I really seriously believe that we spend too much money on washi tape when you could make it yourself. I mean, like double-sided sticky tape, most of us have anyway. Even people that aren't crafters tend to have double-sided sticky tape. The other thing you could do while I'm here, I've just had a bit of one of those thoughts, is you could use a bit of tape. You could use a bit of plain napkin. You could stick that on there, cut the excess off. I'm only doing it from this side because I can see where the thing is, where the tape is anyway. Put that to one side. And then you could stamp live, couldn't you? Stamp live. I mean, like, I don't mean like don't mean live. I mean, you could stamp as you go, is what I mean. Don't know what I'm talking. Please don't listen to me. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Well, you can listen to me if you want to also learn how to not know what you're talking about. So I'm just going to stamp that up, and I could make my own stamp this way. So if you haven't got any masking tape and you don't have any of that other tape that we talked about, what was it? Medical tape, then you can do this, couldn't you? There we go. So we've got some of that on it again. So then you can like make your stamp be. You can make your washi tape be like the stamps that you've used in your journal. And again, it all just gives it a nice feel because it's that. I love the feel of a napkin. So you know what I'm like about sensation and senses and that sort of thing. I'm very tactile. So, but you know, you do you. So it's not. I realise it's not groundbreaking or earth-shattering, or you know, it's not a brand new pocket and fold or whatever. But and it was, you know, like I say, it was inspired by the Bohemian Crafter with her take on it. So, but this is my take on it. So, I mean, that's the other thing I'll do while we're here. Is, or should we do it? Yeah, we'll do it now. Okay, so this is me just having done it in with a stamp. Let's just make it a little bit aged looking. Where's my... Somebody's had my vintage photo. Okay, no, it's all right. I'm just going to put you all on lockdown then. I thought that somebody had it away, but they haven't. And then I can just age it a bit. I mean, like, you might want it just with a white background. That's entirely up to you. But I always like things to look a little bit aged, especially if I'm putting it on aged paper. If you put something really white on aged paper, it does stand out like a sore thumb. The other thing it's doing, look out, I don't know whether you can see that, but it's picking up the pattern from the napkin in the background, which is good. I like that. It's got kind of like a beehive effect. Oh, beehive yourself. Yeah, I know. Like I say, I like to recycle the old jokes. I'm very much for recycling, reducing and reusing. So although I do need to reduce the amount of times that I reuse a joke. So let's rub that onto that. Okay, so there we go. So we've got another bit of washi tape that we've made. So I trust me, I am drowning in the amount of washi tape that I've created now. My brain keeps going, and I could do this, and I could do that, and I could do the other. Okay, so let's put these away for a minute, because you've kind of got the gist of that. But the other thing, I'm going to show you what the Bohemian Crafter does. I'm obviously I will, when I put this onto YouTube, I will link her in my description, so you can see what she's done. Should we use this piece of tape that's stuck to here? No, because it's stuck to everything now. Let's move the stamps out of the way. Tissue paper, not tissue paper, napkin out of the way. Move it all out of the way. I'm a messy crafter. I confess. I admit it. I'm a messy crafter. I cannot help it. It's just one of them things. You kind of just have to go with it. Now this one, because it's, you know, you're not dealing with bits of floaty paper like you are with napkins. You can kind of leave your roll out and keep going. And then all you do is you take your bits of paper and you stick them down, and you keep going. And again, with any overlaps, you're going to file them off, so it doesn't matter. So, and you can keep just putting things on however you like, and whatever you like, wherever you like, with whoever you like. or even people you don't like. Well, it's up to you, isn't it? Your life, not mine. So this is what she does. Now I think she does it a bit more placed than I do, but you know what I'm like. I'm a bit slapdash. So shall I keep going? I don't know. Shall I? Will I? Do I? Even things like this, so things that you've ripped out of a magazine, you kind of think, oh, I don't know whether I would use that in a junk journal. You liked it at the time, you don't know. Well, you know, put it on here, and you'll either like it or you won't. But it'll just form one tiny element of an overall picture rather than being a main focus on a picture, if that makes sense to anybody. You know, you can put your plain bits of paper on as well, because you know you get, you know, a bit of relief, don't you? You know, if you look at washi tape, most washi tape has some kind of background picture. Just keep going. There's all sorts of things in here. So there's bits of wallpaper. But I thought, oh, I really like that, but I don't know where to use it because it was a tiny leaf. But I can stick it on here, and then I've used it. And maybe a bit of that there. And again, if you want to glue something down, so I might want to put a bit of glue on the back of there, and I can do that. I'm sure there are other people out there that have done very similar things with paper and napkins, and so therefore I don't claim to be, you know, the founder of the napkin technique, but it's just something I enjoyed doing, and I thought, got excited. I thought, oh, I'll share it with you. You guys probably aren't as excited as I am, but you know, I get excited about all sorts of things. So, you know, you don't have to get all like I do with tearing tiny bits up. You can put some giant pieces on as well. That's a little bit too plain for me. That green bit's a bit plain for me, to be fair. I have to stick something on that. Don't know what it is. Can't have plain spaces. Maybe it's because I can't be random. My lack of ability to be random, because I realise that, you know, spaces exist as a random thing. So if you tuned in for words, you tuned into the wrong person. But I just can't do it. Just can't do the random thing. Oh, I was looking for them the other day. That's where they are. See, I've cut all sorts of things out of all sorts of places, so there you go. I'll stick that to that. No. All of these tiny bits of book pages. I honestly do think, oh, I'll keep that. That'll come in really handy, and then it goes in this bag, and I never see it again. So, you know, that, I don't know whether that's you. Do you do it too? Please tell me I'm not alone. See, what am I going to do with that? So I'd stick it to this. Although this is I don't think this is bright enough for it to be stuck to. I don't know what that's doing in there either. And this is just a stamping off piece, so I'm just going to put that on there and then just rip it off. That was the other thing she does. The Bohemian Crafter. She gets bits of paper, so like book paper, and she kind of sticks them on. So all the bits that are kind of like nothing stuck to, and then tears it off. which I like, but then my brain says, oh no, I don't know whether I like it, and yeah, that's the over-processing. Yeah, over-processing, typically autistic thing to do, just over-process everything. So, like I say, any bits that are kind of still sticky that you haven't got anything on will be covered up after you kind of sand it. I actually think that it is better if you have... Oh, there's a bit of tissue paper here. If you have some bigger bits of paper on, because I think I've kind of gone a bit small now. Although that might be a bit big. I'm going to just glue the end of this so it sticks over that paper. Now normally I would do this and not think about it and just do it and get on with it and, you know, have a play as I go, but I'm talking to you guys and I'm kind of trying to, you know, I don't feel under pressure, but you kind of want to inspire people to do things rather than people sit there, you know, I'm talking about you people, yeah. I want you to feel inspired, not think, oh, well, that was a waste of an hour. Don't know how long I've been going. 40 minutes? Okay. Wow. Doesn't feel like 40 minutes. Doesn't feel like 2 minutes and about 40. So, again, let's put this one down and see what this one looks like torn off. Oh, whack. No, he's torn the whole thing off. Oh, well. We live and we learn. Pull the other way, Dave, is the way. There we go. I think it's more to do with my quality double-sided tape, which you can tell it's quality, can't you, by the fact that it's not branded. Never mind. It's sorted. You know, it happens. If it had happened to you, you might have thought, all these things only ever happen to me. They don't happen to anybody else. And yet I have proved that they happen to other people. They happen live. Although, if you're watching this on YouTube, I'm not live. What else should I do? There's this bit that I saved that I liked, but didn't know where to put it. Oh, if you can hear Worcester growling in the background, he's not happy about somebody going past the window. So, I think it's the neighbours actually, and he knows the neighbours. So, but he is an oddball. So I'll just let him do what he wants to do. He wants to growl at people, he can. And that's my other paintbrushy thing. I'm going to put that on this side this time. Bit of this. Can't get it off. Didn't leave the residue behind. Never mind. We'll put something over it. Put that over it. There we go. So anyway, I'm going to cut it off there. Otherwise, I could be going for hours and you just get bored. All of just feeling really embarrassed by the amount of clippings I've got. I'll have to give those a sort through because I won't keep things that size. Promise. Promise. Don't promise. Take it back. Anybody see my emery board? Okay, so. Oh, it's that. Found it. It's alright. Panic over. Okay, so then again, it's just rubbing these extra bits off or sticking them down. So, because the paper's quite thick, I might choose to stick them down or just tear them off. Now, I know she sands all of her edges, so all of these bits she'll sand off. Does she sand? No, she cuts them off and then she sands all her edges. I'm not worried about sanding my edges. I just want to get most of the overhangs off. you know, where it overhangs onto another piece of paper. So then I can give it a sand. And again, just anything that where it like flaps over. Oh, that didn't leave any residue behind. That's better. Do you know what? A bit of advice for you. Okay, so if you're ever planning to do a live video, have an idea about what you're doing. Make sure you know you've got an idea about how it goes. The problem with me is I know what I'm doing. So the first one, I knew exactly what I was doing, and then I think, oh, I'll just wing this, and then like it kind of doesn't. You can tell, so you can tell that this bit is not rehearsed. Okay, so fairly happy with that. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm not keeping all of those tiny bits of paper. Definitely not keeping those. I'll keep that. And I'm going to cut all of these off. You could always do a fusion as well. So bits of paper, bits of napkin, bits of your own stamping. Nothing to stop you stamping over what you've done here either. So, I mean, obviously it depends on the kind of paper that you use. If you're using magazine paper, it tends to be glossy and doesn't stamp. It's not that you can't stamp on it; it doesn't stamp easily. I would suggest that you use something like an archival or a Versamark. That's more likely to stick onto the glossy paper and leave it to dry. Don't be tempted to stick your finger in it and give it a rub, because you'll smudge it. So I'm going to give this a rub over now with the. Oh, there's a bit there that I didn't do. So just being gentle, as you can tell when I peeled something off earlier and the whole thing split apart, it can be unpredictable. So just sand and be conscious of that. Any bits that you find that haven't got anything stuck to them, this dust will stick to it and it'll stop being sticky. And I do find that rubbing backwards and forwards again is the best way, and then you're not going to catch the edge and peel it up. Oh, it's not going to. Oh, I thought it was not going to come off, but it did. That's all right. And again, I'm just going to do a bit on the edge. Not being too worried about the edge though. It can make you very sneezy. Sorry, I'm just saying that because I'm thinking I need to sneeze, but I'm not sure I do. My eyes are very itchy, but then they're itchy with hay fever, and alas, love the summer, hate the hay fever. Although I get allergies all year round, so it doesn't really make much difference. So there we go. So just dust it off a bit, and there we go. So that's the paper version that was inspired by Bohemian Crafting, which I think is really nice as well, and it's a great way to use up all of those little scraps of paper. And like I say, very therapeutic. Who drug me up? Drugged up? No, not drugged. I wasn't drugged up. I wasn't even dragged up. I was brought up. few minutes left. What I'm going to do is something now which I'm sure no other crafter would want to even attempt, but I'm just going to stick all of these tiny bits on. Kind of maybe put them on a little bit randomly. Kind of just... This is my brain overworking now. This is not part of the demo. This was not... You know, there are no... definitely don't have a safety rope for this. I'm going to put these on like this. I'm playing, like I say, I'm playing. Keep doing the disclaimer. I am playing now. This is not part of the demo. There should be a siren going off, you know, warning you that this is dangerous. And then what I was thinking is I could kind of go over the bits where it hasn't stuck to anything. Let's do it that way around. Go over the bits where it hasn't got anything stuck to it with some napkin, and then you kind of got that kind of interspersed bit. So I'll put that on there. Don't try this at home, or try this at home if you're as, you know, easily led up the garden path as I am. So I'm putting them on there, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use all my other bits of napkin, the bits that I shoved over there and said, oh, I'm going to use that. Well, this is a testament as to whether I'm going to use it. So if this looks hideous, apologies. If it looks fantastic, well, you know, you saw it here first. I don't know how this is going to look. Well, that's sometimes the best thing, isn't it? Just letting your heart kind of like be free. It's like life. It's a metaphor for life. Let your heart be free. Just do it. You only regret the things you didn't do. You don't regret, well, I don't know, it depends on whether it's on live Facebook channel, doesn't it? So see whether I'll regret this or not. No, generally in life, a metaphor for life is just do it, because when you get old, when I get old, I won't remember doing this, and I won't remember whether it succeeded or failed. But in life, I will remember the things I didn't try. So, what are you panting about? You've got yourself all stressed out, haven't you, about barking at somebody? I know, but like, you know, I only have an hour a day. Well, not even an hour a day. I only have an hour a weekend where I'm not fussing you or... Stop moaning. You're just making a noise now, Worcester, for the sake of it. He's gone off now. Basically, I told him to shut up, but without telling him to shut up. Tell me to shut up without telling me to shut up. What is that? That's a whole trend for, like, tell me you're, I don't know, a food addict without telling me you're a food addict. Or is it just a TikTok thing? I watch a lot of TikTok at the minute. It's a way to lose like time, like disappear into the ether of TikTok. And if you've never seen it, you're not missing out. All it is like short video clips of things, people doing things and things. Let's have some of this writing from here. Some writing, and I just need a tiny bit more tissue paper. What's on the floor? What's on the floor? There is some more. Don't want that. Oh look, there's a piece of this that I didn't even use in the last one. Let's stick that on there. Kind of uses that bit up. Put that on there. Okay. This may look a mess. This is my disclaimer. So I'm not going to keep these clippings, otherwise it gets silly, doesn't it, when you start keeping the tiny bits. This has been made. This is a twofer, as they call it. This has been made out of something that you wouldn't have used otherwise. So this is all the cuttings off, the waste. So cutting that down. Cut that bit off that. Get rid of this rubbish. I didn't just scrape that onto the floor just in case anybody thinks I did. And anyway, it's my floor. I've got to tidy it, so I'm just going to give this a rub. Get rid of any of the little hangy over bits. Any or all. It's going to be quite busy, I'll just say. So if you're not into your really busy washi tapes, then this isn't for you. Just flipping out of my hand now. Don't breathe it in. You know something, that'll be a thing for, there'll be like junk journalers, mixed media syndrome in a few years' time. We'll be going to the doctors and they'll be diagnosing us with junk journalitis or something, from craft-related injuries where you've breathed in too much, acrylic paint fumes or the filings off a piece of paper. So the amount of things that we do, and we do like filing down old rulers to be able to get a decal edge to it and all of that. Anyway, that's what we've made with the bits that were kind of left over. So like I say, it's a freebie. You've paid for the double-sided tape. So that's quite nice. I like that. There we go. So let's just put some of these back in before you won't be able to tell what I've made and what is just part of the background otherwise. So I can't tell what I've made and what's part of the background now, to be fair. Oh, blimey, Dave, you just don't realise how many bits of ridiculous pieces of paper you've kept. Well, until you get them all out. I thought the bag was quite small until you get them all out, and then you realise actually it's got more in it than it looks. Oh, that's a nice piece of paper. Try not to pick up all the tiny bits, Dave. Excuse me for coughing. It wasn't the cough that carried him off, it was the coughing that carried him off in. I know I've said that before. So this is what we've been making. So I can't remember. Don't ask me which ones I've made. Oh, that one I'd already made. That one I've just made. That one I've just made. That one I've just made. Okay, so they were the ones that were like my demo ones. And then these are the ones that... What is that? Oh, it's just... Yeah. These were the ones that... The demo ones. And then these are the ones that we made together. So we made this one. Where's my other one? I've just made one out of tissue paper. Which one was that? Did I put it to one side? Oh, I don't know. Over here. Is it under me mat? Oh, you don't want to look what's under there. Oh, heck. Anyway, I don't know. It might be in with that. But we made one out of just tissue paper, didn't we? Was it that one? No, it wasn't that one. Anyway, don't know where it is. So we've made these three and the other one that was made out of Oh, it's there. There we go. So we made this one first. Then we made this one. Then we made this one. And then we made this one. Okay. So that's what we've done. You know, I know it doesn't seem like an hour. Well, it might have felt like 3 for you. But it's been, you know, an hour of my time that just has gone like that. All my time spent with you guys goes like that. You know, quality time spent with friends always does. So I hope you've enjoyed it anyway. And I hope you feel, you know, even if you've thought, oh, I'd have done it like this. You know what? That's great. Because what I've done is I've inspired you to think in a different way about the things that you've already got. And now Worcester's moaning because he wants to have a play. So, so you're going to come in for the careful wires and things. You're going to, like, Worcester, come and show your beautiful paws. Come on, Worcester. Come on, Worcester. Okay, look, so if we kind of tilt it like that, can you see him? Worcester's with me. So, anyway, yeah, so, oh, you can't really see it. I've just caught up with the camera. There you go. Can you see him now? There you go. There's Worcester. So, good boy. You can also see my messy floor. So, anyway, folks, I'm going to love you and leave you. I know that camera angle is upside down, but I'll try and put you back a bit. So I hope you've had a nice time. I hope you're having a lovely Sunday, and I might have inspired you to do something. Off you go for a minute, Worcester. Go on, off you go. Good boy. Let me just round this video up and I'll come and give you tummy rubbies. Okay, so I'll see you next week. And I tried to sort this reoccurring event out, but you guys know I'm here every Sunday at 3, and I'll tell you otherwise if it's not happening. But I still can't schedule a live from my iPhone. I can only schedule a live from my laptop. It keeps telling me that any time in the future cannot happen because it's in the past. So clearly, you know, the world has moved on and I'm still in 2021. So if you're looking at this from another time zone, then great. How's the weather there? You know, have we got rid of COVID? So anyway, shut up, Dave. Yeah, so I hope you have a lovely afternoon, evening, morning, or whatever time it is with you. You know what I say, that I love you all without exception until you give me a reason not to. So, you know, I'd say don't give me a reason not to. And, you know, go and be crafty, go and be creative, go and, you know, find new ways to do things, and exploit every opportunity that you can in life. So, give it a go. You never know. And I'm a poet, and I probably don't know it, but I kind of do. So anyway, I'm going. So, lots of kisses, big hugs, and if I don't see you through the week, I'll see you through the window. Shut up with the catchphrases. You've got one catchphrase, which is I love you all without exception until you give me a reason not to. So don't give me a reason not to. You don't need any other catchphrases from me. It's not a game show, Dave. Get on with it. All right then. Take care, folks. Love you all. Bye. Bye.